Stepping on the diamond today, baseball is the focus. Michael DiMartini is joining us. Mike, thanks a lot.
Yeah, of course.
You are having an incredible start to the season. Kind of in a unique spot because you spent a year at Penn State, you come here to Dayton. Did you expect to be hitting like you're hitting right now?
I'm not going to lie. I knew I was definitely going to have success. I've been given all the tools to do it, so if I didn't, I'd kind of be pretty disappointed in myself. I know that I wasn't really believed in where I was, but I believed in myself, so I didn't expect this magnitude of success, but I definitely knew that some good things were going to happen here.
Well, I know one guy that definitely believed in you, and that being your head coach and
Yeah.
Scott Loazzo, because he was with you at Penn State last year. Was that a big part in sort of making your way here to Dayton?
To be honest, he's probably the only reason I'm here. It was a no-brainer when I found out he took the job here, and I just didn't feel like I could play for anyone else. So when I entered the portal and talked to him, this felt like the spot for me, and there's no one I'd rather play for. So
What separates coach and having that trust and being like I'm going with him?
I mean, he's honest, he's upfront, and he loves baseball, and he really cares about the players. In college baseball, there's not too many coaches that truly care about their players. So for me to be able to experience that, I was able to pick him out as a guy I wanted to be around, So he's someone that I've learned a lot from and is ultimately someone I try to emulate, There's a lot of good qualities in him.
Talking with Coach, I always find it interesting because his resume, Division II, is wild.
Yeah, it's outstanding.
As a head skipper, but then he's got the 1 year associate head coach at Penn State. And you got a front row seat to some historic stuff because, Nittany Lion baseball, they get all the way to the Big Ten championship last year. What was it like to be a part of that ride?
Yeah, though I didn't really play much and participate a lot, I did learn a ton. We had a great group of guys, so I learned a lot from the players, and being able to just watch every day and not take that time for granted. I could have easily sat on the bench and just took it as a baseball game like a fan, but instead I tried to learn from the best guys on that team because we had some phenomenal players. And they taught me and they took me under their wing, and it was an experience that was more educational than it was entertaining. So
you finally get to be out on the field. This year you have been killing it. The numbers do not lie. What's been the most exciting part about getting back into the batter's box, being back out on the diamond?
I think it's exactly that, is actually being in the batter's box. Having not played, I cannot take a single at-bat or second for granted. It's just something I'm so grateful for, is to be able to actually play. And because that's all I've really wanted to do, is just given the opportunity. So the most exciting part is actually playing.
You light up when you mention a batter's box.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite thing about baseball?
Oh, I love hitting. It's absolutely hands down my favorite part. That and then running. I love running too.
What's your favorite thing about hitting?
Hitting a bomb. I mean, when you hit a bomb, there's no other feeling like that. And ultimately, it's 1 versus 1, and the odds are against the batter, but I like my odds. So,
Is it almost like chess? I always kind of hear of that battle between pitcher and then batter, and sort of, obviously there's the physical element to it, but sort of the mental part of the game.
So I actually played chess when I was younger. I do play chess now still with my little brother. And actually, I think the game of baseball is like chess, but I don't think the batter and pitcher aspect is. I think it's more of a free-flowing concept, and when you start to treat it more like just this immersive, like one-on-one experience versus like a strategic thing, that's when you kind of let your preparation kick in. So when you don't try to overthink, you don't try to be too calculated, you think about your plan before you get in the box, and then when you get in the box, it's natural.
You already answered one of my questions, but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot of power, and,
Okay.
and you already highlighted the thrill of hitting a bomb.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of speed.
Yeah.
And I think the most exciting play in baseball is the triple. and you got quite a few of those. Speed or power?
Power. But the thing about speed is it makes your life a whole lot easier. When you have both, it makes your life way easier. So again, like I had a little, at Vanderbilt, had a little dinky hit, you could beat it out, right? If I'm not fast, I might not be able to beat that out. Also, you have power. If you take a bad swing or you're off time, you could still get a good result out of it. So really reducing your margin of error by having the most amount of tools is what's going to make you successful.
Baseball, I don't know if there's necessarily a sport that has more of a kid element to it.
Yeah.
What's your first memory of baseball and when you fell in love with the game?
Ultimately, I could attribute that to all the times me and my dad went out into the local elementary school playground and we took ground balls. He wouldn't let me take ground balls on the field. He'd make me do it on the concrete because they would have bad hops and you get beat up. And I'd hit, he wouldn't even throw behind an L screen. He was crazy. I would hit him in the shins. I'd be like, Dad, are you okay? I'm fine. Get back in the box. So ultimately, even on days I didn't want to do it, he would push me to do it. And I would never regret going out there with my dad. So I can only attribute my love for the game to him and him pushing me and encouraging me, even on times where, you know, I didn't know how much further I'd be playing the game.
So amongst your time here at Dayton, you've already mentioned the thrill of just being able to be out there with the guys. But you guys have had some success here recently. You really feel like you're sort of finding your groove amongst the team and playing now in the league?
Yeah, the thing about our team is we're super young and a lot of us have never played. We're a little kind of mantra we've taken on is we're the land of the misfit toys. So, or the island of misfit toys. We're all either kickbacks from previous schools, we were counted out, written off. So we haven't really played, but now that we have, we're starting to really show what we can do. And there's not a group of guys I'm more confident in this conference. And I have no doubts that we're going to have success at the end of the year.
Michael, it has been a thrill watching you, that is for sure, and we look forward to what's in store here in the next couple of weeks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks.